hate him.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Nothing to See Here podcast. Hi, it's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
Frankie.
Hi. Yes. What's up?
Hi. So we did watch Lucifer last night.
We watched some Lucifer last night. Yes.
We watched Lucifer. But before we watched Lucifer, you watched a music video.
I did watch a music video.
What was it?
It was a 17 video. I don't know what the name of the song was.
Really? The name was...
You never told me. You never told me.
They spell it in the song.
That doesn't mean anything. With song title. Listen, I'm a Fall Out Boy fan, so song titles mean nothing.
Shut up. What were your thoughts?
It was an alright song. I mean, it hasn't caught on to me yet. You and Monique both said that it gets better the more you listen to it. I haven't listened to it anymore, so maybe that's true. But the two times I did listen to it, it didn't get me.
You admitted something.
Well, I did admit that for the majority of the video, S-Coops, who I've deemed the lamest member of 17, was cooler than my second favorite member, Vernon. But then S-Coops licked a chainsaw that had birthday cake on it, like bright colored birthday cake.
Yeah.
So he became less cool.
I don't know. Licking things is kind of sexy.
It was a lame thing. The way he did it was lame. He didn't look sexy doing it.
So is Mingyu your favorite 17 member?
Mingyu is become the favorite because he hasn't been uncool in anything I've seen him in musically.
Although you did confuse him for Vernon for a second.
I did confuse him for Vernon for a second because of the cool energy. I thought it might have been Vernon. But Vernon did something to his hair that I don't like. I don't like the change to the hair. It's off-putting to me. If he's happy with it, then I'm happy for him. But it was off-putting for me.
It's off-putting for him. We also went and got ice cream.
We did get ice cream.
I want to know your thoughts about the ice cream.
That ice cream now.
You're drinking it?
I let it melt. I put it in the fridge instead of the freezer because I got home last night, realized that the Doctor Who season finale had aired on Friday, had debuted on Friday. So I spent that night watching it, and I was distracted looking at it. So I didn't realize that I had put the ice cream in my fridge and not my freezer. So it melted.
So I'm drinking the ice cream right now.
So what I did is I have a mini food processor. So I took the Buckeyes that were in there, the actual Buckeyes, and I fucking chopped them in the food processor, and I've made a Buckeye milkshake instead now, basically.
Is it good?
I mean, it's chocolate and peanut butter ice cream, so it's delicious.
Mine was very good. Mine was the dark truffle raspberry.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Raspberry truffle thing. Yeah, that's still in my freezer. In my freezer.
Listen, Doctor Who took precedence. It was the season finale. We have a new Doctor. Everything's exciting.
We have a new Doctor again?
We have a new Doctor. Trudy Gatwa regenerated at the end of the episode. And the new Doctor is someone you know, Amanda.
David Tennant?
No, it's Billie Piper. It's the girl that plays Rose on the season that we've been watching.
Why is she the Doctor?
I don't know. She's the Doctor.
That makes no sense.
It doesn't need to make sense. It's the Doctor.
Whatever.
Hey, will you guys vamp and talk to each other? I have to clean something up. I just spilt a bunch of tea.
Hannah, how has your weekend been?
I've been reading all weekend. It's been fine. Oh, happy Pride!
Oh, it is Pride. Yay,
it's
Pride.
June 1st. When this episode goes out, it'll be after Pride Month, but it's June 1st today, so happy Pride!
Yeah, my dad came down to have lunch with me, and he gets to my house and he goes, "Is there something going on in the city?" I was like, "Yeah, it's Pride." He's like, "That explains so much." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's just like, "I saw very colorful outfits. I saw very, very colorful outfits. Outfits that I think most people would not wear if it wasn't a special occasion." I said, "What do you mean?" He's like, "It felt like Carnival." I was like, have you been to Carnival? He's like, no, but I felt the vibes, kind of.
How's the vamping going? Am I going to be entertained when I go back to edit?
I hope you are. I'm
No.
talking about my dad and his,
So is any of this making the episode, or?
I hope it is. You
It
know,
better,
my
because if not, we haven't said Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, we'll say it again now, yeah.
But, we did go out to eat, and I took my stepmom to Lush for the first time. And Hannah, do you remember your first time in Lush?
Here's the thing.
And you know,
I am a normal person. I like Lush. I enjoy a good bath bomb. I don't go crazy.
Yeah, but do you remember the feeling of being overwhelmed in Lush?
I'm overwhelmed every time I go in because that store is so tiny.
It is very tiny. But
Too many people are in there at one time, and that's me and like 3 employees. It's too many people.
it's a very small store. But I walked in and she was just dragging me kind of everywhere, being like, "What's this? What's this?" I felt like I was in the Nightmare Before Christmas. And then when I answered all of her questions, she's like, "You should work here." And I said, "I would not have a paycheck."
She wants you to quit your high-paying therapist job that has health benefits
You're
to go
funny, high
work at
paying.
Lush.
You're so funny, high paying. You're hilarious. Nobody goes
It's
into
more than you would
therapy.
make at Lush.
That's very fair.
It's way
But
more than you'd make working at Lush.
I told her maybe when I retire. Because I think I'll retire for like a week and I'll be bored. And then I'm like, I need to do something. So I think I'll be one of those old ladies. So,
It works at like
but
a retail store.
yeah. Yeah, but is like, not like the super sweet old lady, like the old lady that's just fed up with everybody's shit. Like, I'm that old lady. So yeah, so we walked around Lush, my dad and me and my stepmom. We went to eat. It was nice. It was fun. But I tried to get them to go to a drag queen bingo, and my stepmom was on board, but my dad was like, I don't know. And I said, why? You've been to a drag queen bingo before. He's like, that's not my issue. He's like, is the food gonna be good? And I
Pretty
said,
fair
I don't.
question.
It's a very fair question. I was like, I don't know. He's like, I came down here for lunch. I didn't come here for drag bingo. I'm prepared for a good lunch. So if you're telling me that the drag bingo is going to have as good a food as the restaurant that we're going to, we went to Monticello's, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you can't make that promise then.
Yeah, I couldn't. I could not. It was my first time, the first time that my dad ate there, and I think he was like drooling when somebody got a pizza. Like, as soon as you walk in, it just smells so good.
They have great pizza.
Uh-huh. So he got the
They now
lasagna, and
have
I think he
pretzels.
licked his plates. Yes, we got the
They have,
pretzels today.
they have pretzels?
They
Yeah,
have
with beer
pretzels
cheese.
now. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I wasn't
delicious.
aware of the pretzels.
they're
Yeah.
new.
They are new. They've added a couple new things to their menu, but very good. So I could not make that promise. Therefore, we did not go to drag queen bingo. But I tried.
A very practical concern, though, food.
You know what? I thought he was gonna say something kind of dickish. Instead, he was very much just like, that's not the reason why I don't want to go. It has nothing to do with like the people or the vibes or maybe him feeling uncomfortable. Because as much as he is, as much as he has evolved, when it comes to the Pride community, he still I think feels uncomfortable at certain events. So it wasn't
And
because
you
of that.
know the queens would
Oh yeah,
make fun of him.
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
he is
they,
prime for the picking.
yeah. No, he would be a target. He was a target the last time we went to drag bingo. He would be a target this time. That wasn't the reason. It was only the food. Which, you know what? That's progress in my book. He also wanted to stop at the Oakmont Bakery. Hannah spent her weekend reading. Frankie, you hung out with
I
me
hung
one
out
of the
with you.
days. What'd you do today?
I cooked dinner today. That's mainly all I did. Made some
Okay,
Salisbury steak and mashed potatoes.
all right, that's fair. You didn't eat your Chinese.
I had that for lunch,
Do you
but
have any left over? That was a lot of food.
Yeah, I have some left over, so I'm gonna take it for my lunch tomorrow at work.
Okay. Alright. Are we going to talk about this Scooby-Doo episode, which I'm so glad that you reminded me of?
Jesus Christ, yeah, I had to remind her last night about it.
That she was leading.
No, that I just had to watch it.
Yeah, she knew she was leading as soon as I said it. I was like, I just said, have you watched the Cyber Chase yet? And she didn't.
I went, oh shit. I
So
should
let's
do
talk
that.
about the making of Cyber Chase, the end of a Scooby-Doo era.
I'm so sad.
This is the fourth and final of this original run of direct-to-video releases animated by Mook Animation, and it was released on October 9th, 2001. It is the final Hanna-Barbera production to be executive produced by both William Hanna and Joseph Barbera before Hanna's death on March 22nd, 2001, and the film
Hannah,
was
you
dedicated in
died?
his memory.
Oh, I've been
It
a
is
ghost this whole time, guys.
It was
Wow.
March 22nd, 2001. You were only 3 years old. What a shame. I didn't know
Yeah.
ghosts
So sad.
grew
Yeah, I didn't know that they
at
aged,
age.
but that makes so much sense.
This is also what is most people recognize as the last official Hanna-Barbera production, as Warner Brothers during the middle and after this would fully absorb Hanna-Barbera, so the rest will be completely under Warner Brothers Animation.
Yeah. Yakko, Wacko, and Dot took them over.
And this will be the first film in the Scooby-Doo series to use completely digital ink and paint.
Which you can tell. And you know what? I don't want to knock it because it looked good.
It's not terrible, but it is still the same animation studio. Let's see how the animation changes when a new studio comes in.
Yeah, we'll see it.
So this movie was directed by Jim Stenstrom, produced by Davis Doy, and written by Mark Taraz. This will be the last time we see Jim Stenstrom and Davis Doy, as they would leave due to creative differences with Warner Brothers. The
Okay.
reason they left, one of the reasons they left, and the reason why this is the final movie for the core team behind Zombie Island, Witch's Ghost, and Alien Invaders, is that similar to what happened during Witch's Ghost, movie executives, or the Warner Brothers executives, forced Mark Taraz, who is already a Warner Brothers contracted writer, to be the writer for the movie. And he had little experience with animation. The original crew that produced Zombie Island and Alien Invaders were upset because they had total autonomy with those movies, and they were once again being forced to use an outsider's script. And they were very critical of the draft of the script. I don't know what was in it. No one's given any details. A lot of this is coming from an interview from Lance Falk. He doesn't
You
give
know what?
details what was actually in that script,
I'm glad
but
they were
he's
critical because they came out with like I think the best one out of the four.
um I don't know what was in the original, but he says that the original script that Taraz presented was a regression in terms of the franchise's potential. Its pacing and plot were unsatisfactory, and the actual script was poorly formatted and unfamiliar with the animation process. It had, for example, he said it had complicated camera movements impossible to do with the budget and countless locales that would prove tedious to design if they went through with it. The original team would end up leaving either Warner Brothers or moving within Warner Brothers to other projects after this film. But we will still stick with Mark Taraz, as he's going to be the writer for our next movie, Legend of the Vampire. Jim
Okay.
Stenstrom, the director, originally wanted to explore using live action actors for the scenes set in the video game, but the idea was quickly dropped. Of the
That
four movies,
that would have been something.
I don't know if they should have done it for like all of the scenes in the video game. Maybe if like I think it would have been cool if they went through with this idea, if they did the virtual version of the gang.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
This is of the four movies made for this era of Scooby-Doo, Cyber Chase has the largest array of storyboard artist credits, as time constraints on the movie required additional help. This movie was released on both VHS and DVD. The DVD had a 10-minute behind-the-scenes titled Making of Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, a Spot the Difference game called Virtual Detective, and a music video for Scooby-Doo and Shaggy Love to Eat. The film was re-released on Blu-ray on March 29th, 2011, and it is the first Scooby-Doo animated film to be released on Blu-ray.
Oh, well, I have it on Blu-ray. I don't know where it is because I had to rent or buy this on YouTube, but I have it somewhere.
A video game for the film was released in 2001 for PlayStation and Game Boy Advance.
I had it for the Game Boy, did not have it for the PlayStation. I bet you the PlayStation one was better because the Game Boy one sucked.
I have notes on the PlayStation one when we get deeper into the movie because that's the one I played. And I have notes.
Was it bad? Was it worse than the Game Boy one?
I had never played the Game Boy one. It was probably better than the Game Boy one, but I wouldn't know because I didn't get very far in that game. That game was hard. That game is hard.
No, you're just bad at games.
I am, but that game is also hard, like notoriously hard. The cast of this movie, Scott Innes, in his final film appearance, because I don't know the cast for the Scooby-Doo or Scooby-Doo project already came out. There's another weird Scooby-Doo thing, isn't there? In between.
Yes.
The Land of the Living Doo, right?
Yes, I don't know the cast of Land of the Living Doo. So this is Scott Innes's final film appearance. He also does go on to be the voice of Scooby and Shaggy for a lot of the video games that come out. It's not his final time voicing the characters, but his final film. Frank Welker is back as Fred Jones. Gray DeLisle is in her first appearance. What?
Delise? Do you mean
it's D-E? Well, it's DeLisle.
I think it's Delise.
Is that L silence? Damn.
Yeah.
Gray DeLisle as Daphne Blake in her first appearance as Daphne after the death of Mary Kay Bergman. She will be our Daphne for the long haul, except not for Legend of the Vampire. It's very weird. She's in like every other movie except for that one.
Except that one. Maybe she was busy.
Maybe she does a lot of fucking roles. She is Azula on Avatar: The Last Airbender. She is Vicky on The Fairly Odd Parents. She is Sam from Danny Phantom. She is Frankie Foster from Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends, and she is Mandy from The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
I was gonna say she is Mandy. I also thought she Raven. She Raven from Teen Titans.
I didn't see that on her list, so I don't think. So, but she might be. I don't think she is.
No, she's not.
Yes.
It's Sarah Strong.
BJ Ward is here as Velma Dinkley. This is her last film appearance as Velma. She did some stuff after, but not the next films. Joe Alasky as Officer Wembley. He is the voice of numerous amongst other actors because after the original cast would die, they would alternate a lot of times in the Looney Tunes. So he's voiced people such as Bugs, Daffy, and Porky, and almost any of the other characters you can name. He's also the voice of Plucky Duck on Tiny Toon Adventures and Grandpa Lou on Rugrats. Bob Bergen is Eric Stauffer. He is the official voice of Porky Pig, and he is also voiced Tweety. We have Tom Kane as Professor Kaufman, the voice of Yoda in the Clone Wars series, Magneto from Wolverine and the X-Men, Mr. Harriman from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and Monkey Fist from Kim Possible. Mikey Kelly as Bill McLemore, who voiced Mikey in the 2017 TMNT movie. And finally, Gary Sturgis as the Phantom Virus. We have 3 original songs.
Yeah, we do.
Here in the movie.
Yeah, we do.
Well, not 3 original songs. We have 3 songs. One is not an original to the movie. It's Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?
Yeah.
Performed by the B-52s. We have Hello Cyber Dream, performed by David Nicole and Wes Quave. And Double Double Joint by Richard Lawrence Wolfe. This is a movie that has debate, and I want to ask you two the question. Some people say this is the only movie of the 4 that doesn't have a real villain, as in the witch's ghost was real, the zombies were real, and the cat people were real monsters, and the aliens were real. or there were real aliens involved. Some people say this one doesn't have a real quote unquote villain, and it is someone, but that's a lie, right?
I'd like to say that's a lie because for all of the people who've gotten a computer virus on their computer, that is a real villain. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
and the
And he
aliens in the
essentially comes alive too.
Yeah.
He's walking
aliens
around
in
the real world.
in Alien Invaders, they're not the villains, the real
Right.
aliens.
Yeah, I would be more inclined to say that Alien Invaders doesn't have
Sorry.
a real
The
villain.
The way they say it is the movies don't feature real supernatural creatures, but this one does. It's the Phantom virus.
Yeah, the virus is. I would also
It's
say it is
real.
supernatural too, because there's no
Yeah.
virus that can come alive and do what it does.
Yeah. This is real.
I will get into, which is a big problem. I have a big problem with this movie.
But
I still
since
love
we're
it,
all
but
on that side, I'll give this little fun fact. This will be the last time that a real supernatural creature is blatantly shown until we get to Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King. Some of them have implications of like, oh, maybe there is a real supernatural creature like Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster, but this is the last one that'll be like, yes, definitely real.
the Goblin King? Does Jareth make an appearance? David Bowie?
It's Tim
No, I'm
Curry.
pretty sure that's Tim Curry's the Goblin King in that one.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he comes back to Scooby-Doo to be the Goblin King. This is also the last movie from what people call, as we said, the dark era style of animation. This one does differ from the others, like I said, because it's the first with all digital animation. The darker shading has also been removed to make it a little brighter. And after this film, the series would go back to traditional 2D for the next two films and return Fred and Daphne to their original attire, as well as a less dark motif with a more What's New Scooby-Doo animated style and tone.
I'm just gonna say, you didn't need to change their outfits again. I like their outfits that they have now.
You have to change it back.
I will say, in this film, Fred looks like a dad. Like, I feel we can give him a fanny pack and he's like a middle-aged dad.
He's ready for the
I'll
trip to
call
the
him
amusement
Daddy.
park.
I will call him Daddy
Whoa!
anytime.
Amanda!
What? What?
This movie has a 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb. I looked on IMDb and Google, there are no 1-star reviews. There are some 1-star ratings, but no one was bold enough to leave a 1-star review.
Yeah. They knew it was gonna happen.
We have a 10-star review from IMDb from Morant Javante, left August 12th, 2014. I just want to say that this account might as well be me. They were 17 in 2014 when they wrote this review, which I was. And their entire account has 173 reviews, and it's all comic book movies, old cartoons like Scooby-Doo and Tom and Jerry, and wrestling pay-per-views.
Frankie, if this is your account, just say so.
I've never left a review on IMDb, but I was looking through to see what else they reviewed. I'm like, this is all stuff I like. What is happening? This one, the title of the review, My Favorite. This is a movie I always wanted to get as a child growing up, but for some reason I never got it. I finally bought it now, and I still like watching it when I'm bored. Yes, 17, and still love Scooby-Doo. It's very funny and entertaining, brings back great memories. I always loved Scott Innes when he voiced Shaggy and Scooby. He was always great. The rest are cool too. I can't imagine someone else who was not Frank Welker voicing Fred. It was also great seeing some of the past monsters like the Tar Monster and the Creeper coming back. The main villain, the Phantom Virus, is a creepy monster that might make you check your closet every night. Overall, the movie is great and will always be my favorite. And with that, Amanda, are you ready to take us through Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase?
Yeah. Full disclaimer. I think this is already known, but this is my favorite movie. I put it on, and my mom goes, "Not again." I said, "What do you mean, not again?" She's like, "Do you know how long how many times I've watched this movie. Like, I've probably wasted a year of my life watching this movie with you.
Not that bad. Oh, to be fair, it is only an hour and 15 minutes, so that is a lot of time.
That's a lot of time. Yeah. We start in a laboratory. We don't know what kind of laboratory, but a guy named Eric, who I had a crush on Eric. I had a thing for nerdy guys real early on, apparently. But we zoom on Eric, and he's typing away at his computer screen. And there's Bill, who has a red baseball cap, and yeah, he's also typing away too. The professor, who looks like Albert Einstein.
He looks like a werewolf.
He looks like Albert Einstein and a werewolf had a baby. So he comes over and he asks Eric, "Hey, have you made any progress?" And Eric's like, "Hey, no, there's still something wrong with the program." And the professor's like, "We can't do any more experiments with this laser until you fix it." Bill says that he finds something. The computer flashes, and then the laser turns on. And out of the laser comes this virus. They're trying to shut it down, but they can't. This virus comes out. And you know what? He was kind of menacing. He's a little menacing. He also reminds me, did anybody watch the show Freakazoid growing up? He kind of gives me Freakazoid vibes, like with the hair. As he's walking closer to them,
I can see it.
thank you. As he's walking closer to them, he's taking all of the data from the computers. He makes a phone come alive and it wraps around Eric's wrist, and we just get him him walking towards the camera, and then all of a sudden we see the mystery machine driving down the road. So we're kind of left on a cliffhanger. So Fred is driving, as apparently he always does. I think we've only seen Shaggy drive the car once, right? Maybe twice?
Once, maybe twice, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many times.
Shaggy was driving in Alien Invaders. And that was like the first, I think, big time.
So they're driving. They're gonna go visit their friend Eric. They went to school with him apparently, and he was one smart cookie. Scooby's upset that Velma used the word cookie, and there are no cookies. Shaggy's in the back playing a video game, and he said, "I hope the game that Eric makes is easier than the one he's playing." You know what, Frankie? I take it back. You are not bad at video games. Shaggy is bad at video games. That did not look like a hard game. The university that they
don't know
go
what
to,
game
by
he
the
was
way,
playing.
the university that they go to, by the way, is just called State University.
Yeah, my favorite college, State University.
Yeah. So they get there. They're walking around trying to find the lab, and the security guard just comes up to him. Big burly security guard guy, and just goes, "Hey, where do you think you're going?" I don't know. Like, they don't seem that out of place, to be fair. So I don't know if I was a security guard, if I would automatically pick them out of the lineup.
This security guard knows every student and professor at State University. How dare you?
Apparently he
He is
does.
the backbone of this school.
He's actually the
So,
president in disguise. You just don't know.
so they said, "Hey, we're here to visit our friend Eric," and he's like, "Not if you're not on my list, you aren't." When our parents came to visit us at college, do they have to be on a list to visit us?
No.
I didn't think so.
Amanda, we played Dungeons and Dragons for like 2.5 months on campus.
And nobody even questioned why we were
Well,
there.
you were still a student there. I
Yeah,
wasn't.
so it worked out, yeah. But nobody else was.
No, everyone else but me was.
Oh, right. Well, nobody questioned it.
I don't question why I was there.
Yeah. Fred's like, "It should be under my name." And the security guard is like, "Is the whole group with you? And the dog?"
Is the dog not part of the group?
I guess not.
This is also, guys, the final dog wear joke.
Hmm. It's the final one?
Yeah, Scooby never makes that joke again.
Was it only
why?
in these 4 films?
It was only in these 4. It was a running joke for these 4 films, and I guess they just
No
never decided to
wonder.
repeat it.
It was so
It's so
iconic.
it's so weird that they don't repeat it though, because like,
That's
let me tell
hilarious.
you, I don't know. I don't remember. I think is it James Gunn. James Gunn didn't direct. He wrote, but still, they fucking wholesale stole one of the scenes from this movie for Scooby-Doo 2.
He then proceeds to say that he doesn't like a bunch of punks running around his university. Scooby proceeds to mock this guy, takes his hat, and proceeds to mock him behind his back. And you know what? It is quite funny and all. But as his friends, if any of you guys were mocking somebody behind their back, it is your job to not laugh and let them know, like, you know what I mean? They were cluing him in just because they were giggling at him. He actually
It's
didn't
hard not
notice,
to
and
giggle sometimes.
yeah, but he actually didn't notice until he went to like touch his hat and he noticed it was gone, and he turned around. Uh, he then looks at Scooby and is like, "Oh, you're a wise guy, eh? Like he's gonna beat him up or something?" He's like, "I'm gonna keep a special eye on you, Pooch." And I feel like Pooch is like an insult to a dog. But Shaggy's like, Scooby was just playing around, no need to like be upset or whatever. But Fred, saves the day, and he's like, just tell us where the computer lab is, please. So he points them in the direction. And they go there. But before they do, he says, keep the dog off the grass. I was gonna say something about that, but I didn't see any doggy bags. So that is fair. Nobody. Have we ever seen Scooby use the restroom? I don't think we have.
Why would you want to watch an animated dog pee?
Yeah, but like they've never alluded to it either.
They've never alluded to Fred going to the bathroom either, but I'm sure he does.
My question is, because Scooby's right, Scooby can talk and everything. Do you think Scooby can use the toilet?
Yeah,
No.
he's tall enough.
Yeah. So they get to the computer lab. Eric is showing them around, and man, he really is an attractive nerd. An animated attractive nerd. As they're walking around, Scooby and Shaggy see these tomato plants that are huge. And before they put them in their mouth, Bill, red cap guy, is like, hey, you don't want to eat those. They're grown in radioactive soil. Eric introduces Bill to the gang. And then Shaggy asks Eric to see his new video game. Just as he asks that, the professor comes in all like Dracula-like, and it's like, nobody's playing the game. Eric introduces the gang to the professor, and he's like, well, if you guys are Mystery Inc., you've come just in time for a mystery. And of course, that, like, I imagine that I know Scooby is a dog, but, like, if the Mystery Gang were all dogs, you know how whenever you say treat and, like, your dog's ears, like, perk up? I feel like what would
They go
happen
nuts.
the minute that you say mystery to them. So they
The minute you
proceed
say
to
mystery to the mystery,
yeah, 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 yeah.
they go fucking nuts. They start running around, barking.
Yeah, yeah, like, oh, 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 oh. Yeah, 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 yeah. They proceed to show them a laser, which apparently can take objects in the real world and break them down and project them into cyberspace.
See, that's worthy of being a good scientist. This whole time they keep going, oh, Eric's such a great scientist, and all they've talked about him doing is designing a game.
Yeah, yeah.
Most game designers are not scientists. I gotta let them know.
Yeah, I'd also like to say this laser is amazing. This doesn't exist in the real world.
No, it's
Like,
amazing because like you can take anything and put it in the virtual world. And then you can take it out of the virtual world and it's real. And you can take anything out of the virtual world and make it real. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Is
And they're using it to...
Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase one of the best science fiction films out there?
Oh, that's
No.
difficult. There's a lot of good sci-fi films.
I'm gonna say no. Because this doesn't make sense. They're entering a video game competition when they have this laser
No,
that the
they're
government
entering a
would
science
probably really like to have.
Entering an international science fair.
Why is the video game the science fair project and not the laser?
I think it is the laser, but the video game's being used to show off the laser. Like, I would think of better ways to show off the laser than a video game.
Exactly.
I feel like the video games were just for fun.
Yeah,
But, like,
just...
what's his name, Bill? Bill's
Bill.
game doesn't even seem to use the laser.
Yeah.
Bill literally just made the same baseball game that already exists in triplicate.
Yeah, he made Backyard Baseball.
But worse.
Yeah, I know.
There's
bad no
Backyard Baseball. There's no Pablo. There's no funny commentary team. Also, it looks worse than any baseball game that actually existed in 2001.
That's something that just throws me off. The whole reason this virus is created is because somebody's upset at, like, a video game winning or whatever. Just make the virus so you can steal the laser. That's a way better idea.
Hey, maybe make an original video game also.
Yeah, that too. So yeah, they are introduced to a laser and they use it on some Scooby snacks. Shaggy and Scooby are very upset that they did not get to eat the Scooby snacks.
I would be too.
Yeah. But the Scooby snacks do get projected into cyberspace. They proceed to... Yeah.
Like Tron over here.
Yeah, it is very much like Tron. They then proceed to say that a virus came from the video game into the real world last night, right here in the lab. They said that it wiped out all of the data from the computers just by walking near them, which, again, think about that in, like, warfare. You create a virus. The virus itself is genius. One, it's a living virus. And two, it can just wipe out computer data just by walking near it. Oh my god. We would win every war.
Yeah, but could it be controlled?
Definitely not.
Yeah, probably not. Maybe not. I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Maybe.
Well, you know what? Maybe you could install controls into it because fucking, I can't remember this guy's name. What's his name? Billy?
Bill. Its name is Bill.
Bill made him like baseball, so you know.
Yeah. He just didn't. Yeah, and we don't know if Bill wanted him to, like, wipe that data or if Bill wanted him to hurt Eric with the telephone.
I think he did.
Yeah, I also think he did, which is why I think it could be controlled. Which, again, another reason. If the laser's not good enough, take the virus to the science fair. The government would want their hands on it.
And threaten the judges.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't give me the win, this virus is gonna walk right by your laptop, bitch.
Yeah. So, not only that, but the virus can also manipulate and control electrical objects. It made the telephone come to life. We later see it make, like, arcade games explode. It's amazing. But the professor goes, whoever made this virus is in serious trouble. He's like, our civilization is so dependent on electronics that this virus is a threat to the entire world. Precisely why the government wants it. Precisely why you should sell it to the government.
I wouldn't want the government to have that.
I also wouldn't want it, but if he's really upset about the money thing, so Eric launches the demo. They see, the game and everything. They're very flattered that they made it. We also see Bill. Bill shows us his game. He's like, you think that's a game? Now this is a game. This is a game you can really get into. It's a shitty baseball game. And Fred, you know what, Hannah? He is being quite dad here and is like, baseball? I like baseball. You know?
Give this
I like
man a
baseball.
fanny pack.
You're right.
I'm
I
a big
also
fan of
like
baseball
baseball.
too, but like
Yeah, but I wouldn't talk to a random
that
person
game
about
looks
it.
like shit.
It looks awful. Do you think he was just being nice?
Yeah,
No.
Fred. I don't think Fred's ever played a video game.
You know what? Fair.
Like it does look good to him.
He said, "Oh, it's baseball. That works for me."
Mhm. Shaggy's like, yeah, baseball's fine or whatever, but it doesn't have me and Scooby in it. You are correct.
A real gamer.
Yeah. Um, Eric says that the Scooby game has 10 levels, and you need to find, or you need to battle monsters and villains while finding a box of Scooby snacks, and that's how you get to the next level. Which, Frankie, I would like to ask you about this because in the Game Boy game, these levels did not go according to the levels in this movie.
Same.
Okay.
The only ones that are the same are Rome and the amusement park.
That's it?
Well, they have them, but they're not in the same order.
Hold on, let me look at this.
There are 7 levels in the PlayStation game. You start in Japan, you go to Rome, you go to the Arctic Circle, you go to the
Japan
prehistoric
was
jungle.
number 5.
Yeah, you
Japan
go to
was
the
like number
prehistoric
5 or
jungle.
6.
You go to the big city. The big city isn't part of the movie.
No.
So that's
Nope.
an original level. You go to Egypt, and then you go to the amusement park.
You've
And let
never.
me tell you,
Yeah.
I never saw past fucking ancient Rome. That level, the ancient Rome level, oh boy, oh boy.
Is it really that hard?
I recommend you watch the Game Grumps video where they play it.
I will.
That's
They
what I'm gonna
struggle
be
with that
doing after
level.
this.
The Game Grumps video, they struggle playing that level.
I love
Like-
the Game Grumps.
Yeah, and they're good at games.
Aaron is fantastic at games, and Dan is also fantastic at games. He beat like the original Punch Out.
Yeah, I think they play like 3 parts of it. I don't think they make it past the
R.I.P.
ancient Rome level. That level is so fucking hard.
I now want to play the game.
I also want to play it.
I want them to remake the game.
I'm gonna emulate it. I don't have my PS1 anymore. I mean, I have it, but I don't think it turns on. After they show the demo, Professor's like, Eric and Bill are gonna win the $250,000 grand prize at the International Science Fair, which
Jesus!
is a shitty amount of money for an international science fair where this
Not
kind
back
of
in
stuff is being
2001.
shown.
That's a good amount of money for a fucking video game, though. Damn.
Yeah. Eric goes, we couldn't have done this without you, Professor. You should share in the the reward too. And he's like, no. Being your teacher is just reward enough. Which,
No, it's not. I want that $250,000, baby. That's a
yeah.
sweet amount of money.
Which, thinking about it, the professor really should have been the villain. I'm glad they made him nice and everything, and like he does care about like his students and stuff. But if I was the professor, I'd be like, I helped these kids. I should get some of this too.
Well, they offer it to him. To be fair, he rejects it personally because he's got ethics or something. I don't know.
So they beam the Scooby snacks back into the real world, and Scooby and Shaggy are fighting over them. And Fred goes, "Is that the way the virus came into the game?" And they're like, "Yeah, that is." They're like, "Well, what harm can this virus do?" That's what Daphne asked, even though they just said what harm it could do. And the professor's like, "From what we observed last night, the virus basically has the potential to steal every computer program in the world." And then Bill has to add that he made the telephone come to life and attack Eric. And the only way, and we go to a flashback to the previous night, the only way he was able to stop the virus was by using a super magnet. He held up the magnet in self-defense, and the virus ran away like a little coward. Out the door, and is just chilling in the building now. Apparently security looked for him, they couldn't find him. I'm not surprised. That security guard reminds me of Paul Blart. So they just think he's just hanging out in the building. So
And
Shaggy and
amazingly,
Scooby
all the technology at the university still works then.
exactly. So Scooby and Shaggy hear that he's still in the building, and they like pause their fighting over the Scooby snacks, and Velma just yoinks it right away from them. She's like, "No more arguing, boys." So, and then she asks, "What can we do to help?" And he's like, "Can you guys lure the virus to the lab so that we can zap him back into cyberspace? That way he can't do any harm in the real world." And they're like, "Great, you want us to be virus bait?" Shaggy and Scooby, obviously. And they're like, "No, not gonna do it." Velma said, "Would you do it for a Scooby snack?" And Scooby is ready to do it for just one Scooby snack. But Shaggy looks at him and is like, "No. Hold on a second, Scoob. Only one Scooby snack? For a phantom? I do not think so." So Velma goes, "What if I gave you 2 Scooby snacks each?" And they like look at each other and they're like, "All right, that's a deal." Do Shaggy and Scooby not have their own money? Can't they just buy their
No,
own boxes of Scooby snacks?
absolutely not. They can never
Uh,
never do that.
They
oh.
have one of those debit cards for children where it's like you can't spend more than $50.
Do you think a box of Scooby snacks is more than $50?
They can't buy multiple boxes that then
They've already
cost
bought
over.
too many.
Yeah.
So the professor gives them all magnets and says that you need to get close enough with these super magnets that are gonna render him helpless. So Scooby takes one, and then I think Velma. I think everybody gets one. No, Scooby doesn't have one because he can't hold one. So Shaggy takes the one that Scooby has and puts it in his pocket. Exploring, or getting ready to explore. So Fred's like, "I think we better split up." And Shaggy and Scooby just start wandering off on their own. And Fred goes, "Hey, you guys, I didn't say how we were gonna split up." And Shaggy goes like, "Do we ever do it any other way?" That was my favorite joke, I think. He's correct. Um, so Daphne, Velma, and Fred are, I think, in like a basement cellar thing of the building. Apparently, it is staff only. Um, they're looking at a bunch of like old junk or whatever. Velma takes a book off of the bookshelf and blows the dust off of it into the virus's face. So the virus uh, attacks the gang, but he steps on a magnet and it hurts him because Velma dropped the magnet. So they realize that, oh yeah, we have magnets, the thing that's going to save us. So they're all standing there with their magnets, and Daphne goes, "Get back, you creepy thingy." And Fred proceeds to look at
Yes,
her,
I love this scene. This is my favorite scene.
and Fred proceeds to look at her, and basically, I think he gives her an eye roll and is like, "Creepy thingy." And she gives him the most embarrassing, like, shrug thing. So then the virus, like, looks like he's gonna charge, and Fred goes, "We don't think so, thingy." And she looks so mad. So the virus limps away. And Fred, Velma, and Daphne go to chase after him. We cut to Scooby and Shaggy at the cafeteria, and everybody is just horrified at how they're eating. Mind your own business. Let people eat however they want.
They put whipped cream on a hot dog.
Yeah,
I
you
put
gotta stop that.
coleslaw on a hot dog.
That's fine. Whipped cream is not allowed. You gotta stop that.
And
Stop
just
that dead in its tracks.
If the next time I see you, like if I come over to your house once ever and you are eating a hot dog with whipped cream, I'm not your friend anymore.
I'm only saying this. What about the pregnant women out there? The people who put pickles in peanut butter?
They have a reason. They're pregnant.
I was gonna say, what if Shaggy's in an M-preg thing? We don't know. We don't know.
It's not. It's not.
uh, Scooby shakes up the whipped cream that he is putting on the hot dog, and then explodes on Scooby's face, and it makes Shaggy look like Santa Claus. We cut back to Velma, Fred, and Daphne, and they see a mysterious light in the corner. They go to attack it with their magnets. Basically, it's just like showing their magnets as close to them as possible. It's not the virus, it's the security guard. It's Paul Blart. And he's like, I thought I heard some noises down here. You guys shouldn't be here. This basement is for staff only. And they're like, we're hunting the virus. He's like, yeah, I heard about it. Whatever. I just think it's a prank. So, I'm going to take you up to the lab and we're going to wait for the professor to get back. You would think that if they were solving this mystery, the professor would give them clearance to roam the school. You know, you would think, right?
No, his security guard didn't give them clearance, though.
Yeah.
The president of the university said no.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We're back in the cafeteria, and Scooby and Shaggy are laying on the table, face up, with their stomachs full. And they're still thinking about food. But then this bright light shows up, and oh no, it's the Phantom. Shaggy looks up and he goes, oh, hello, Mr. Phantom. Lays back down and goes, oh, no, it's the Phantom. And he zaps his electricity, but they manage to, like, run away. This is where we get the Scooby-Dooby-Doo Dave song, right? Yeah,
What do we think of
do.
that version? This version.
I like it
This
better
is where we
than
get the
Billy Ray
B-52s.
Cyrus's.
I don't know. There were some weird things that they did with it that put me off.
I like it better than Billy Ray Cyrus's.
This might be my least favorite one.
I think Billy Ray's is worse.
Yeah, thank you, Hannah. So they do the little chase scene. At one point, they do take him into the psychology department and they put electrodes on him. And then they just zap him.
Man, they beat the shit out of this virus.
I'd like to point out, we don't use shit like that.
Not anymore.
Yeah, well, we do electroshock therapy, but you have like a muscle relaxer and like it's very like we still do it, but
It's in a
Well, yeah,
very
muscle.
controlled situation environment.
yeah, and it's also not just fucking psychologists doing it. They're fucking doctors who are doing it.
He doesn't have any muscles to relax, Amanda. It's fine.
We also go to a biology lab, and I was really bummed to see all the animals that they were basically experimenting on in the biology lab, but Shaggy and Scooby let them go, and those animals proceed to trample the virus. They're in the chemistry lab now, and they make a little concoction that explodes, and the virus explodes. Then they're in a robotics lab, and Scooby basically maneuvers a, what would you call it? It's a robot, but it has 3 arms. To, like, pick him up and, like, Johnny Bravo him, like, one side and the other, back and forth, back and forth. Just like all the women who beat up Johnny Bravo. Then they're in the library, and the virus is climbing up the ladder to get them. They jump off the ladder and then push it, since it's on wheels, into another bookshelf, and the bookshelf falls with all the books falling on top of the virus. Hannah, if this was your library, how would you feel?
I think I'd just curl up in a ball and cry.
And that's how the chase scene ends. So, in the lab, Velma, Daphne, and Fred are worried about Shaggy and Scooby, and they're like, we should go look for them. And the security guard's like, I don't think so. But as soon as he says that, the virus comes in, or Scooby and Shaggy come in with the virus tailing them, and they spin the security guard around so he really can't do anything. So Shaggy and Scooby are running away from the virus, and Daphne, Fred, Velma, they all go in different aisles, trying to get to the virus. They all meet in the middle, and uh-oh, the laser turns on and zaps them into cyberspace. You only see the shadow of the hand that zaps them and presses the button.
But we officially know who the villain is just based on this one shot.
Yeah. There's
Silly
no
boy.
way it could be anybody else. They did kind of ruin it. But
Yeah, I was trying to think back to when I was a kid, like watching this for the first time. Like, I was trying to remember, did I solve the mystery really early because of this one scene?
no,
Like, did
I
I
think
figure out who the culprit was before the gang? Or did I just,
I
like, go along for the ride? I couldn't remember.
I figured it out whenever we saw him playing baseball. That was when I figured it out as a kid. But, like, him saying, "Let's play ball," and all of the baseball, like, slang reference things, I didn't pick up on them. It was only when he was playing baseball that I was like, "It's probably the ball cap guy."
It's probably the person whose only character trait is baseball.
Baseball. Yeah. So they're zapped into cyberspace, and they're on the moon in cyberspace. They're in little astronaut outfits. They've been beamed into the computer game. Back at the lab, Bill, the professor, Eric, and the security guard all notice that the laser has been fired. Which did the Phantom virus also get? Did the Phantom virus also get zapped with them?
That's what they say.
I didn't see
we don't
them
ever
get
see
zapped. Yeah.
You don't see him get zapped, but they're like, "Oh, he went back in," but I guess he can kind of just travel at will.
Yeah.
Now, I guess that's always what my took away was. Yeah.
So Bill goes to the computer and he's like, "Oh, it wasn't just the virus. Your friends have been transported into cyberspace." And the security guard says the logical thing, "Well, get them out." And Eric's like, "That's not how the game works. They have to play through all of the levels to get out," which really?
Is this Jumanji shit?
What is that? And also, the Scooby Snacks didn't have to play the level to get out.
Well, they didn't put them in the game.
You're right, they put them in the demo. So they have to win every level of this game, and the danger in there is going to be very, very real. Back on the moon.
Real danger.
The fake moon, the cyberspace moon. Shaggy's really excited because there's like less gravity, which means he can pick up heavy things and he can jump higher and stuff. He is goofing around, and he smacks into a wall, a rock wall. They ask him if he's alright, and he's like, "Yeah, I think so," but he made an important discovery, which is that in this video game you can get hurt. And Velma goes, "Or worse." Hey, we don't know how many lives they have. Fred's like, "Yeah, Eric did say that this place is full of, like, creatures and monsters, and who knows what else." And Shaggy's like, "I know what else." And oh no, it's the Phantom, and he's on a rock. He's looking at them, and he starts laughing. And he does have a maniacal laugh. It's a pretty good laugh. Not only is the Phantom laughing, he's also not alone. And these two little, I don't know, like evil astronauts show up. I don't know what to call them.
Yeah, they're in black and red. That's how you know they're evil.
Yeah.
Was my high school evil? Because our colors are red and black.
Yeah, maybe. The Phantom says, "Let's play ball." And Shaggy's like, "Let's not." And they start running away. As they're running, they find, they hide behind a rock so that they can lose them. And Velma said, "Getting beamed into cyberspace, it might not be such a bad idea." And they're like, "Why is that?" And she's like, "'Cause we can figure out the mystery. Duh." So, the weird evil astronauts find them. But before they do that, they find where the Scooby Snacks are, over by a flag on the moon. So, before they can get to the Scooby Snacks, Scooby goes, "Look, it's a rover." And it is. It's a rover in the colors of the Mystery Machine. That's a cute little detail. Way to go, Eric. But the evil astronauts also have their own rover. So they're trying to go as fast as they can, but they do get shot. The virus shoots them with his little virus powers or whatever. And they're like, "Oh no, we've been hit." Velma's like, "Chill, it's okay. We just have to get the Scooby Snacks." So Scooby starts running for them. The thing that throws me for a loop is the virus and the evil astronauts. They don't attack the rest of the gang who are just sitting there now. They go after Scooby, who's getting the Scooby Snacks. You'd think you'd want to take them out, At least take one out.
If they're going for the goal, you got to stop them from getting to the goal.
I don't know about that. But Scooby does manage to get the Scooby snacks, and they are transported. They are transported to where?
My
Where
worst nightmare.
Yeah, the level of the game that Frankie could not beat. We're in ancient Rome. We're in the Colosseum specifically. Velma's like, we're in the Roman Colosseum. And Shaggy's like, where they play football. And they're like, not exactly. This is where they used to watch all kinds of events, like sports and music. And Fred's like, yeah, they did that. But the Colosseum's most famous for where the Romans fed people to the lions for lunch. That's not what they did. They had gladiator matches.
They
You got
had
fed to the
professional
lions.
wrestling.
Yeah, if you got fed to the lions, that was your own fault. You didn't gladiate well.
You were probably a criminal.
Yeah. Has anybody watched, like, Gladiator? Watch the movie. So, the virus shows up, and he goes, let me, he congratulates them for getting, oh, before I forget, they notice a bunch of chalk drawn in the shape of a baseball diamond. Now the Phantom shows up, and he's like, hey, welcome to level 2. Things are gonna get a little bit harder. Also, let me introduce you to the home team. And he opens the virus is there. He introduces them to the home team, which is a bunch of skeletal gladiators. I mean, they could have been human gladiators. I mean, alive humans, not just skeletons. But
Those are
he
more
then,
fun to fight in a video game, skeletons.
yeah, that's fine. He then
Why does
introduces.
this level have like a lot more enemies than other levels?
I'm not sure. But he then introduces us to the home team's mascot, which is a lion.
I want to
The
pet
lion,
it.
yeah, the lion has the Scooby snacks in his mouth. So they all start running away, and as they're running, one of the gladiator skeletons throws a net at Shaggy and gets his legs all tied up. They're trying to get him out, but they can't. But Scooby spots a chariot, also colored like the Mystery Machine. So Scooby is, I guess, the one leading the chariot, and Shaggy is on the chariot, running away from the gladiators. Meanwhile, Velma, Fred, and Daphne have to deal with the lion. I'd much prefer dealing with the gladiators than the lion. So Daphne's like, how are we gonna do this? And Fred's like, give me your jacket, Daphne. And she's like, I just bought this, which is a very Hannah thing to say.
You're not wrong.
So she gives him her jacket, and he takes it, and he's going to provoke the lion like you would provoke a bull, which I don't think works. I think a lion would just go straight to eating you. Anytime I've tried to distract my cats from food, they don't take the bait. You know what I mean? Fred holds up the jacket and goes, Toro, Toro, and the lion is looking around like, where's the bowl? And Fred has to think for a moment and then goes, Leo. I did appreciate this joke. And then he says, Ole, as the lion, takes the bait. Daphne gets an idea. Her and Velma open the doors, and he does the whole, Leo, Ole, and the lion goes into the double doors, and they close it on him, locking the lion back into, I guess, a chamber? Sure. Going back to Shaggy and Scooby, who are also fighting the gladiators. Oh, before I forget, Daphne did kiss Fred on the cheek, because that was very brave, Freddy. So back to Shaggy and Scooby. The chariot, one of the wheels breaks, and they fall. So they have to continue running from the skeletal gladiators. As they do, they make a dust cloud, and they get kind of lost in it. They catch up with the others, and Fred's like, hey, keep them busy just a little bit longer. We're gonna go get the Scooby snacks. And Shaggy's like, easier for you to say. Almost like, take them to the stands. Shaggy's like, I don't think we have the energy. And then they launch javelins at them. And he's like, maybe we do have the energy. Fred picks up the javelins, and he's like, here, take these. And they're like, why do we need the javelins? They're like, use it to pole vault into the stands. So they do. And the skeleton gladiators follow them. They make it to the stands into this little curtained area where the Emperor would be. Shaggy and Scooby dress up, of course. Scooby is the Emperor. And Shaggy's like, all hail Emperor Scooby. Gladiator skeletons fall for it, and they bow to Emperor Scooby. But Shaggy, he fucks it up and he trips on the dress. But it's fine. Before they're about to get, like, sliced and diced, Fred manages to pick up the Scooby snacks, and they're transported to the next level. The next level is a prehistoric jungle, which I'd love to ask you, Frankie, how this level was when you actually played it, but you didn't make it past Ancient Realm.
I never made it to this. Never played the level.
The virus is riding a T-Rex, and he also has a spear. So the gang heads for the trees, where it is too thick for the dinosaur to follow them. They are correct. It is too thick for the virus to follow them. The dinosaur's head can't fit through it. Back at the lab, the professor, Eric, and Bill, and the security guard are all watching them. And the security guard's like, by the way, who was the one who activated that laser? And Bill's like, I don't know, it could be anybody. And the professor's like, even somebody in this very room.
Bill is sitting there sweating bullets.
I know.
Like, I don't know.
The gang has found a cave in the prehistoric jungle, and they're hanging out. They have a little bit of a fire. Shaggy and Scooby are drawing pictures of food using charcoal, or I think it's charcoal, on the wall. Velma goes, hey guys, nice work. Did you guys do that one over there? And points to a picture of a volcano erupting. And Shaggy and Scooby are like, no, we didn't do that. And Velma goes, I wonder if it means anything. But before she can think even further on it, the fire starts to go out. So they send Shaggy and Scooby to go collect firewood. As they're doing that, they see a bunch of trees on fire. And then a little lava ball falls and shoots at them. And they look up, and oh no, the volcano is erupting. So they drop the firewood, and they go to warn the gang. They come in, and Fred's like, where's the firewood, guys? And Shaggy's like, if we don't get out of here, we are going to be the firewood. They're like, the volcano is erupting. And Velma looks at it and says, I bet you that's where the Scooby snacks are. The drawing is a clue. So they head for the volcano. But they're never going to make it there in time. So instead, they head to the volcano on a woolly mammoth. And boy, oh boy, Daphne is having a time. She is hating this. She looks real rough, too.
She's gonna vomit.
Yeah. She's like, I wish these things had a saddle. Fred's like, I wish Eric would have made them smell better. Shaggy and Scooby also are having a tough time. So, they do make it to the volcano, and they're looking up at it, and they can't seem to find any Scooby snacks, but the volcano starts to erupt. Oh no, there's lava pouring down. They also hear a screech, and there's a little baby pterodactyl whose wing is stuck under a rock. Nobody makes a move to help them quite yet, because the ground starts shaking. Oh, and the virus is back with the dinosaur, the little T-Rex that he's riding. Also, he has the spear, which I thought he threw, but I guess he found another one. So they start climbing up the volcano. That is erupting. Doesn't seem like the smartest move, but okay. But they do it to avoid the dinosaur and the virus. They still see the pterodactyl, and Scooby makes to go save the pterodactyl. Despite it being hard to push the rock off, he does manage to get the rock off of the pterodactyl's wings. Oh, and behind the rock is the Scooby snack box. So the lava is falling down. Scooby picks up the box just as the baby pterodactyl goes to pick him up. The gang sees that he has the box, and they are transported to the next level. This is where we get the best part of the goddamn film, and it is Hello Cyber Dream. Guys, this is my favorite Scooby-Doo song.
That's absurd. That's patently absurd.
No.
I can think of, off the top of my head, 2 songs better than it.
No. This is my favorite one.
What are your three?
You are incorrect.
What are your three, Hannah?
What are my three? Try time again. The Hex Girls.
I didn't even think of the Hex Girls. Yeah,
really
that's better.
Yeah, and I also really liked the Ghost is Here, but it's fake from Zombie Island.
I didn't think of that song. I agree with
everything I just said.
I agree with everything you just said, and I would put in I'd put in we haven't reached this song yet, but I know it's better, and so I'm gonna say it anyway. There's a song in the pirate one, the pirate Scooby-Doo movie. It's better than this song.
I mean, anything the Hex Girls sing is better than this song. And that's quite a few numbers at this point.
This is my favorite song, and I'm not going to change my mind about it. You can disagree with me. That's fine.
It's
this
fine.
is my favorite song.
We're just saying you're wrong.
No.
But it's okay.
No. This is subjective. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong in my heart.
You are entitled to your own opinion, even if that opinion is incorrect.
It's not incorrect. Yeah. Anyway, so we get this song, and it is a bop. At least admit that one.
I'm not saying it's bad. It's a good song.
It works for this film. I'm not, like, gonna sit there and listen to it outside of this film.
Oh, Amanda does. Amanda listens to it all the time. So, we see a bunch of different levels. There's an ocean level. There is a level where they're all small in a backyard and they're facing off against an ant. Kind of terrifying. We're in Japan.
Kids level.
Yeah. We're in Japan. Fred tries to fight the samurai. It doesn't work well for him. It's fine. Daphne has it taken care of. And she kicks some ass.
Yeah, Daphne's a warrior master, in case we weren't aware.
Yeah. Super cool. I tried to do this as a kid with a stick, and I hit myself in the head. We're then in ancient Egypt, in a pyramid. Then we're at a medieval castle where a princess is tied up to a tree holding Scooby snacks. And they're facing off against a dragon that the virus is riding. It's fine. They scare the dragon away by throwing water on its face before it can blow fire. The reason why I'm explaining this is because as a kid, I was like, you can take the Scooby snacks, but also kiss the girl. She's a pretty girl, Shaggy. What's wrong with you? And he was only focused on the Scooby snacks. She wasn't Googie or Crystal. Mm-hmm. That's the problem.
His heart already belongs to Crystal.
You're right. This is only one movie afterward, so he's probably still grieving. Then we're in an Arctic level, which seems to be the easiest of all levels because they spawn right where the Scooby snacks are. What are you talking about? That's level 9. Ridiculous. So they make it to level 10, which is the final level. And they think they're out, which is ridiculous. You got zapped in a lab. You're not going to be unzapped into a city at night. But they look up and they see the little cyber grid or whatever. Back at the lab, Eric is like, hey, they're doing great this far, but this is the toughest level of the game. They're going to need to do everything they can to survive.
Yeah, because this guy designed Dark Souls. He's never even beaten the fucking game.
Yeah, apparently.
Also, just, like, is this the first Twitch stream, do you think?
It's very possible.
It'd be like, hey, watch my friends almost die in my virtual reality game?
Did Twitch steal their idea from Scooby-Doo in the cyber chase?
It's very possible. So they're like, we need to figure out where the Scooby snacks are. This city looks kind of big. Maybe we should ask around. And they see an old woman, even though we can't see her face. They go to ask her, and ta-da, it's the virus. And he goes, surprise. Welcome to the final level. You're in the major leagues now. So, and they run away.
If I was in the gang's position, I'd be like, virus, dude, why do you want to kill us? Like,
What's your
why
deal?
can't
What's your story, bro?
I mean, like, because I mean, I guess they did attack him with the magnet, but I'd be like, why'd you put us in the game? Why won't you let us out of the game?
Grow up, virus.
And also, because I would believe that my friends would be watching me try and survive. At that point, I'd look to whatever,
Look to the camera.
yeah, whatever camera is there, and I'd be like, guys, it's obviously Bill. Do something about it while we're here.
Also, can you send in like a gun?
Yeah, they could have asked for supplies like the Hunger Games.
Exactly. They hide in a malt shop, and they run into their virtual selves, dressed like they originally were, except for Shaggy and Scooby. Shaggy has the red shirt
Shaggy's
on.
wearing his solo adventure shirt.
Yeah. And Scooby has a red collar instead of a blue collar, which we've never seen.
And is slightly darker.
And is slightly darker. So did we whitewash Scooby a little bit?
I don't know if this is like I don't know
No.
what color, like the shade of Scooby he normally is.
No,
Yeah.
this would be this would be like when Velma became Indian and Shaggy is black in Velma.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So they all meet themselves. The one that got me though was Daphne looking at herself and goes, "Did I used to wear that?" And then the other virtual Daphne goes, "That shirt with that skirt? Hmm."
I really like Fred, just like impressed with the ascot.
Yeah, just impressed with himself.
He is the Midwestern dad.
A little bit, yeah. So they're talking with themselves, and they're like, "We're trying to find the Scooby snacks. We have to get out of here." And virtual Shaggy's like, "You need to relax. What are you worried about?" And Daphne's like, "Aren't you guys afraid of the Phantom Virus?" And virtual people are like, "We've never heard of them."
Like, what did you just bring into our city?
Velma then gets it. She's just like, "Oh, the virus isn't a part of their game. He has no real reason to hang out." Just she's saying that though, the virus shows up outside and he's like, "Hey, come out and play." Very creepy, like.
Warriors, come out and play.
Yeah. So virtual Fred is like, "Don't worry, the mystery machine's out back." And then both of the Freds say, "I'll drive." Virtual Fred does end up driving. It is his car.
As he should. It's his car. It's his car.
He then proceeds, the virtual Fred then proceeds to say how much, like, Cyber World is great. These things never get old, because Fred, actual Fred, was saying how he missed the old Mystery Machine. Which, didn't they drive it there? I guess it's not. This is like the older version. Not like the van version.
That was the new Mystery Machine, yeah.
Right. So, so Daphne asks, "What about the monsters and villains? What, don't you guys get bothered by them?" They're like, "No, they're probably guarding the snacks." They're like, "Oh, yeah, the snacks are. We know exactly where the snacks are, but we don't go after them. Because if we do, we just go right back to the beginning of the game, and we like it here."
That shit sucks.
Yeah. So and then Shaggy's like, "Yeah, things were good here until your Phantom Virus guy shows up." And then Fred goes, "If all 10 of us team up, there's no way we can't take them down." And they're like, "I guess we were gonna find the Scooby Snacks eventually anyway." So they agree. And they head towards where the Scooby Snacks are, which is the boardwalk. The Cyberland Boardwalk. They say that the Scooby Snacks are at the boardwalk in the arcade right on top of the Scooby arcade game. As they're walking there, they hear this noise. It's from the batting cage. And they look, and this random person is just hitting a bunch of baseballs. Yeah, because there's a bunch of random people here. Who else could it be at this point? You know what I mean? Turns out it's the virus, and he's just like swinging baseballs. He launches a baseball through the fence and at them, and they all make a run for the video arcade. At the video arcade, in front of the video arcade, they run across some of their old villains. There's just the Creeper. There is
Good villain, good choice.
Yeah, there's Jaguaro.
Who? Who's that?
Jaguaro? I don't know. He's
Why'd they
supposed
choose
to be
him?
in Brazil, though.
Yeah, apparently. Who chose Jaguaro? I'd like to discuss that with them.
We have the tar monster. That's a good
That's a
choice.
good one. That's a good choice. Good choice.
Gator Ghoul.
Who? Who's that one? Is that just an alligator?
I think so. So they run for the beach to try and get away from them, and they see somebody riding a bunch of dolphins.
Is it the ghost of
those are
Captain
sharks.
Cutler?
Those are sharks. Nope,
Yeah,
it's old
ghost?
Iron Face. It's old Iron Face.
That one is the worst one. Who the fuck is old Iron Face?
Look him up. Is he really a thing?
Yeah, they're real. They're all villains from Scooby-Doo.
They're not.
They just didn't choose good villains.
They chose two good ones.
They chose 2 good ones and 3 bad ones. I would have replaced them. The three ones that aren't good. I would have added the Space Kook. I made the list. I would have added the Space Kook.
What
I
about
would
the
have
Dark
added.
Knight?
No, because he's the first, but like he gets too much looking. I would have added Space Kook. I would have added Charlie the Funland robot because they are
he
in
would
an
have fit
amusement
well.
park.
Yeah.
I also would have added Phantom Shadows and obviously Captain Cutler. Like what the fuck?
No, you can only have 5.
You have someone
Oh wait, no,
emerging.
you're replacing 3.
I already did replace 3 with the Phantom Shadows, but like if I had to get rid of one, I'd get rid of the Phantom Shadows and replace Ironside with Captain Cutler. Because if you're gonna be putting in someone who comes up from the ocean and it's not Captain Cutler, what the fuck are we doing here?
Velma then says, "It's every villain that we've ever faced." No, it's not.
Yep, those are the only 5. No, those are the only 5 in the history of Scooby-Doo. What do you mean?
And Daphne goes, "Maybe we should have told Eric so much about our mysteries." I'm glad you didn't tell him anymore. Actually, I'm disappointed that you didn't tell him anymore. You didn't tell him the good ones, apparently.
You only told them about the fucking Gator Ghoul.
In Jaguaro. So they all try and go after them, and they split up to different parts of the amusement park. Before they do that, though, Velma logically was like, "Hey, but these are all old villains, and we found out that they were just guys in costumes." So Scooby, and virtual Scooby, go up to Gator Ghoul and try and rip his mask off. Oh, you can't. Because they're real in this video game. So now they run away.
Scooby is so brave.
He really is. Eric must have thought that Scooby was brave. He must have spent a lot of time with actual Scooby. So they all split up and go different directions of the amusement park. First up, we have the 2 Shaggies. They're over by, what is it, like the test your strength thing? And the tar monster is following them. They take the hammer and land it on his foot, which has to hurt.
He's tar. How would he feel it?
You know what? That's a great question. But they run away after they do that. The Daphnes are at a haunted house, and they're like, "Why did you pick this place to hide in?" And Daphne's like, "I was just following you." I don't know
Because
which
ghosts
Daphne
hate
is talking.
haunted houses.
Yeah. So they step on a button, and it opens a little trap door on the floor. And Daphne's like, "Oh, there's a lot of traps in here. We should look out for that." Then virtual Daphne screams, and I guess fat shames herself. She goes, "Look how fat I am." And real Daphne is like, "You look perfect. You're fine. It's just a mirror." So, but the creeper shows up behind the mirror, and they lure him to the trapdoor and open the trapdoor, and he falls through it. Great. He starts climbing up the slide, but they shut the trapdoor again. But she notes that it's not going to hold him for long, so they should get out of there. And they do. On the roller coaster, we're with the Freds, and Gator Ghoul is in the back. And you know what? Nobody told Gator Ghoul that he needs to keep his hands and feet inside of the vehicle.
He is inside.
Inside
He's
of
not
your
hanging
seat.
off.
Your seat. Also, those lap bars do nothing. This is not a safe roller coaster. So he's at the very end of the coaster, and the Freds are up at the front. He's climbing up to them. They notice that the track cuts off. It's just broken, of course. So they have to jump. Thankfully, there's a bounce house that they can jump on, which I don't know if I would have jumped on the bounce house or just let the roller coaster take me. All of
No,
those sound
Fred
like a bad
should be
idea.
dead. Fred
Yeah.
should be dead.
All of those sound like a bad idea. I guess I would go for the bounce house, but I think I would just accept my fate at that point. So they do jump onto the bounce house, and the gator goes with the roller coaster off the track. Fine. Another thing I'd like to note is the bounce house, once they land on top of the bounce house, they have to jump down from the bounce house to the ground. That's also a pretty high jump. It's not as high, but it would freak me out.
It would still hurt your little ankles.
Yeah.
You
And
would
my
definitely
knees.
feel it. Yeah.
Yeah. The Velmas are in a wax museum, and they're looking at a bunch of wax figures. They come across molten wax, and then they see, oh, that wax figure kind of looks like, it's old Iron Face. He's the one chasing them. As they run away, they lose their glasses. But it's fine, because being on the ground and looking for their glasses manages to trip old Iron Face into the wax. The hot wax, which, man, has to hurt.
At this point, 2 of the creatures should be dead. I don't think
Yeah.
Gator Ghoul should have survived, and Old Iron Face should not be alive either.
Yeah, his skin should be boiling at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But he actually manages to walk, even though it hardens for a second. He breaks out of it, and the Velmas have to run away. We're with Jaguaro and the Scoobies, and the Scoobies are on a carousel, pretending to be horses on a carousel. They trick him for a little bit, but Scooby's about to sneeze, and Virtual Scooby stops him. But Virtual Scooby then sneezes, and Jaguaro turns around and starts chasing them around the carousel in a circle. At some point, though, Jaguaro loses them because they stop running, and they go over to the control switch, where they make this carousel spin so fast that it launches Jaguaro to the milk toss game, and he has a little bottle that hits his head. The Freds find the Scoobies and are like, hey, what's going on? But they look at them in fear because behind them is Gator Ghoul again. How? I thought he was dead. Hannah, you're right. I thought he was dead, and they thought they lost him.
He should be dead, or at least on the other side of the park.
Right. It's fine though, because the Shaggies are running towards them and launch into Gator Ghoul. But they're like, the tar monster's right behind us. He's upset. We heard his tootsies. They don't say that part, but that's why. And then we get this fun little song. I don't know what it is, but it is fun. I like it. We're back with the Daphnes and the Creeper, and they take him to like an old-fashioned like photo thing. And they give him the thingy that goes off when you take a picture, and he explodes. So the Velmas are at a petting zoo, and they see a really cute baby goat, and they go to pet him. Why are you petting him? Shouldn't you be worried about your life?
No, you pet the baby goat. You get the serotonin boost.
So, not only is old Iron Face now chasing the Velmas, but he also was chasing a baby goat. But don't worry, the goat's dad goes and rams into him, and he lands into a nest and is face ends up in eggs, and the eggs break, and then the little chick hatches. Very cute. The Freds are in a bumper car, which this one, you know what? The petting one I can understand. Why are you playing bumper cars when you're
Why were
trying
they
to
on a
survive?
roller coaster?
You know what? Fair too.
No one can catch
Well,
you on a roller coaster.
yeah. But they basically for the bumper cars, they sandwich the gator go between themselves and launch him. How do they launch him again? They sandwich him and then they speed up and make him launch through through the little, I guess, bumper car thing into a dunk tank, and then Fred takes off one of his shoes and makes the board of the dunk tank hit the gator in the head. Ouch. Shaggy's are getting some popcorn and some cotton candy when they run into the tar monster. And they start running away and go into a soda booth, and they spray soda at the tar monster so much that he falls back into the cotton candy machines and becomes cotton candy. Kind of. I think he's just covered in
And
cotton candy.
yeah, he's just covered in cotton candy. And then they're gonna do this exact same thing.
Uh-huh.
Just fucking take this entire thing. Amazing.
So they're about to eat the cotton candy, but they notice his eyeball and they cover his eyeball. Scooby's, the song ends, by the way. And the Scoobies are on a log ride, which makes me miss the log ride at Kennywood.
That log ride looks so fun too.
Yeah, I know. Jaguaro is chasing them on his own little flume, but it's fine because the Scoobies jump off the flume and go to the edge before the drop. So they manage to get off, which is great before it goes down. But Jaguaro does not, and they wave bye bye to him. So everybody is at the arcade now, and it seems like they all lost their monsters. So I have the Phantom to face at the arcade. Velma's like, and this is the final level, so the virus isn't going to be easy to beat. And as she says that, Shaggy notices that he has something in his pocket. He takes out the magnet that the professor gave him. And Velma's like, you had that the whole time and you didn't know? He's like, yeah, I guess I was too busy being scared. As he's holding the magnet, all of the virtual gang, I don't know, freeze or what would you call this? They have an error. They're glitching.
Yeah, they glitch out.
Velma is like, well, they're also have electromagnetic energy, so it makes sense the magnet would affect them. When Shaggy puts the magnet away, they don't seem to remember anything about the magnet. But they now have a way to defeat the virus. So Fred tells them that they should stay, the virtual gang, that they should stay here because they don't want them to get hurt by the magnet. And they're like, what? What magnet? I'm like, never mind. Just we'll take it from here. So they go in and they see the Scooby Snacks on the Scooby-Doo video game, arcade game. And as Scooby runs to get the Scooby Snacks, the Phantom Virus is there and he starts laughing. Evil laughter. He disappears in a plume of smoke. He's like, you ready to play some games? And he makes the arcade games come alive. So, like, things start, balls and stuff, hockey pucks, they all start shooting towards them. Shaggy goes to hold out the magnet, but he's not close enough. And Velma's like, you need to get closer. And Shaggy's like, it's easy for you to say. So Fred's like, fine, give it to me. And he starts walking towards the virus with the magnet. And he gets him. You would think that somebody would follow right behind Fred to be ready to grab the Scooby Snacks, but no. Scooby starts sneaking towards the Scooby Snacks, which you don't need to sneak. You don't need to sneak. He's incapacitated right now. But Fred goes to step forward and trips on a ball, and they lose the magnet underneath an arcade machine. So they all have to hide again. Way to go, guys. You fucked it up. The virus starts exploding a machine that Shaggy is hiding behind. That looked terrifying.
He's out for maximum carnage.
The virtual gang sees outside the video arcade that things aren't going well and are gonna go in and help, but the monsters find them again and they can't. Except virtual Scooby. He sneaks in there and goes to try and help. Fred is being tied up by arcade game wires. And while Scooby tries to help, he can't. So Fred's like, hey, virtual Scooby, I have an idea. Here's the plan. Virtual Scooby then goes over to actual Scooby and whispers the plan to him. So virtual Scooby now serves as a distraction, trying to distract the Phantom into targeting him. And Scooby is so brave, virtual Scooby. Meanwhile, our actual Scooby is being sneaky and sneaking to get the Scooby snacks.
The sneaking makes sense this time.
Yeah. Phantom Virus gets a little fed up with virtual Scooby and ties him up via some arcade games. But it's fine because actual Scooby got a hold of the Scooby snacks. So they win. And the virus, I guess, just disintegrates? Is that what happens?
Yeah, they killed the virus.
Yeah, they killed the virus. So, the virtual gang comes in because the monsters also disappear when they got the Scooby snacks. And they're like, great, everything's great. As they come in, everything around them starts to fade. And Fred goes, it looks like we're leaving. And the gang is like, oh, but we don't want you to go. Like, the virtual gang is like, oh, we don't want you to go. But the actual gang's like, sorry, but we have to. It was nice, like, meeting you. Thanks for all of your help. And they go back to the real world. They're back in the lab. So, they come out of the laser. They're back. Probably thrilled. The professor's like, well done. You saved the world from, like, the terrible menace. And Bill goes, but did you find out who created the virus?
Again, sweating bullets.
Yeah. And Fred's like, we have a pretty good idea. And the professor's like, good, because whoever did it is in serious trouble. And Velma's like, glad you agree.
Kill them.
Yeah. Velma's like, glad you agree, because you're a suspect too. And the professor's a little insulted about that. He's like, but I'm here for my students. And Fred's like, but you also stood to win $250,000 at the science fair. If he stole the invention. Shaggy then looks at Officer Wembley and is like, you could have done it. I don't know why Fred says, but you were the only person who was in the lab with us when we got sent into the game. That's not a good enough reason. And obviously he wasn't. But inside the game, they found some important clues, Velma says. The first clue they came across was when Phantom said play ball. We all know this. I'm not going to go through it. It's Bill. Bill's the one. He actually starts sneaking back whenever he noticed them mentioning baseball. And Eric is finally like, all I'm getting from these clues is that the virus had a thing for baseball. And then he immediately looks at Bill, who's trying to leave the lab, but I guess the door is locked. So he starts running around the lab, thinking he's going to be able to escape. Who locked them
in the lab?
I don't know.
I think Bill was trying to pull instead of push, or, he tried to open the door the wrong way.
As he's running, the security guard is chasing after him, and he trips over Scooby, who purposely trips him, and lands in a bunch of bookshelves. And he gets caught and arrested. And Eric's like, dude, you were my friend. Why'd you do this? Like, and the professor's like, you were also my best student. But Bill's like, but you didn't choose my game for the science fair. Even though I've been here 2 years longer. And the professor's
Dude, if
like,
he
but
was spending
students are
all 2 years developing that game, damn, I wouldn't choose it either. Fuck.
yeah. And the professor goes, but students are all equal, Bill. Which I'd like to say, no, they're not. So Velma's like, you invented the phantom virus, hoping that it would scare Eric away. He's right. And he's like, it would have worked until you guys showed up. And then Fred's like, and you were afraid that we would find you out, so you beamed us into cyberspace. And Bill's like, and the prize would be all mine if it wasn't for... And they all complete us meddling kids. Which, can you actually call somebody kids if you're the same age as them?
Well,
I
he
guess
was
you can.
20 to their 18.
They're at a soda shop now, and Eric is like, I have lunch is on me, guys. I want to thank you for, saving everything. So Shaggy and Scooby get another cheeseburger. Eric apologizes for them being trapped in cyberspace. They're like, it wasn't all bad, but next time go easier on creating the monsters. Eric pulls out his laptop and he's like, hey, do you want to play the game on my laptop? And as they look at the game, they see the virtual gang waving at them. Oh, so cute. Scooby-Doo does something sweet, though, and he pops, I guess, a Scooby snack into the game to feed virtual Scooby. And Daphne says, now that's what I call hacking. And Shaggy goes, hacking and Scooby snacking. And Scooby says, Scooby-Dooby-Doo, and the movie ends. But we have a post-credit scene.
This is so fucking bizarre.
Can
It's
I be
the game.
honest?
Yeah.
I never knew there were post-credit scenes for this film until yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't know
didn't.
either.
Really? Oh, I knew. The gang talking about what their favorite parts of the movie was to film. Velma really liked the prehistoric, the prehistoric level because it brought out the animal in her. I guess she liked hanging with the woolly mammoths. Fred's
She
favorite,
wanted to be a cowgirl.
yeah. Fred's favorite was the gladiator stage, because he got to be a gladiator. I think he was just happy that Daphne said that he looked cute in the outfit. Actually, he wasn't happy. He was upset about that.
He didn't want to look cute.
Fred was glad he got to live out his gladiator dreams. Daphne was glad that he went to the North Pole because no one cares what you're wearing at the North Pole.
Wrong. The penguins. The penguins are the South Pole. The elves care. The elves.
You're right. You're right.
The elves are going to judge you harshly.
Yeah.
They will.
She also enjoyed the 24 hours of sunlight so she could get a tan on just her face.
Yeah,
Sure.
you'll have the tannest face in the world, I guess.
Yeah. So Shaggy and Scooby enjoyed their time at the arcade. That was their favorite time because they played air hockey. That's it. That's it. That's the movie.
What a film.
They brought virtual Scooby out to visit real Scooby.
That is true.
Yeah, which implies that virtual Scooby is real, because the implication in all this is that the mystery gang are real. And that implies virtual Scooby is real, which implies all of this actually happened. Is this a documentary film?
Hope not. I'm putting this at number 1, at least on my list.
This is not number 1. Zombie Island is still number 1.
Frankie?
Alright. Well, going into this, Cyber Chase was number 1 for me.
Oh no, Frankie.
On a rewatch, man, it's still really good.
Don't do this
But
to me.
I gotta put it at number 2.
I will agree with number 2. I know I'm not going to be able to make a convincing argument for you guys to keep Witch's Ghost in at the second spot.
Absolutely not.
No.
For Witch's Ghost is in my list now a distant number 3. All right. So Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase is number 2, numero dos.
I'm disappointed in you, Frankie. Anna, what are we doing next episode?
What have you been asking me for months and months and months?
Is it the Is it really?
Is it the what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Is it the Mongolian death worm?
Yes. We're going to Cryptid Corner. We'll talk about Amanda's favorite little guy.
Wow, Amanda, how does that feel?
I made
It
her
feels-
speechless.
It feels really good. I love the Mongolian death worm. There's only one other cryptid that I like more than him.
Goatman? Goatman's not a cryptid, he's a demon. What am I talking about?
No, I forget what he's called, but he lives in like alcohol and he rolls around.
Lives in alcohol!
Hold on, I have to look it up.
What does
Is
that
it the hoop
mean?
snake?
What?
The hoop snake?
It might be the hoop snake.
Who bites his tail and rolls around?
Yep, that's him. He's my favorite.
What does that mean he lives in alcohol?
I think he lives in alcohol.
I don't think he lives in alcohol because I had to do research on him this past week.
Yeah, had to?
Well, Amanda, I really thought you mentioned that the Mongolian death worm is the one who bites his tail and rolls around like in
I did mention that. I got them confused.
yeah, and I when I was doing my research, I'm like, that's not how the Mongolian death worm moves. So I googled what cryptid does that, and it was the hoop snake. So I have little notes on the hoop snake currently at the
Thank
start
you.
of my Mongolian death worm episode.
Thank you.
That will be next week. We'll learn about the Mongolian death worm. Anything else we'd like to discuss this week, or can we wrap this up?
No, I'm tired. I want to go to bed.
Yeah, I have to
All right, well
eat
then
dinner.
let's. Jesus Christ. Let's wrap this
Yeah.
up then, real fast. As of recording, we're on YouTube and Spotify. If you're listening to us on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications so you know when each episode is uploaded. We upload every Wednesday morning. If you are listening to us on Spotify, remember to follow the show, leave a rating and a review, and answer the Spotify question, which is the best of the 4 of these Scooby-Doo movies? I can add up to 4 choices, so
It's Cyber Chase.
we'll get votes on which is the best of the 4. If you would like to send us an email with some comments about the show, your thoughts on what we've been doing, any questions you would like us to answer, or ideas for episode topics, you can send us an email over to
Nothing to see here podcast at gmail.com. As always, here is spelled HEAR.
if you would like to see some great artwork done by Amanda, some funny memes created by Hannah, images of things that we discuss in all of these episodes, then you can find all of that over on our Instagram page, which is
Nothing to see here pod.
and I think that is all of our business taken care of. So, saying goodbye and good night, it's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
I'm gonna go listen to 17's new song Thunder. Again.
You gotta watch Game Grumps. Watch Game Grumps.
Oh, I am gonna watch Game Grumps.
Yeah, watch them play
Cyber
Scooby-Doo and
Chase.
Cyber Chase.
Doing that right now.
All right, goodbye, everyone.
Bye.